Controversial influencers Andrew Tate and his brother Tristan just touched down in Florida after spending the last 2 years detained in Romania for a sexual assault and sex trafficking case. This is new video of their arrival in Fort Lauderdale after authorities lifted travel restrictions against the brothers. Now, it's not clear under what conditions they were allowed to leave Romania, or their charges haven't been dropped. Our partners at CBS News Miami are following the story for us. Take a listen.
The Tates have dual U.S. British citizenship and have millions of followers online. And to give you some more background, as you might recall, we first reported that they were arrested in late 2022 and formally indicted last year on charges. Officials say they took part in a criminal ring that lured women to Romania, where they were sexually exploited. Andrew Tate was also charged with rape. They deny those allegations. In December, we reported a court ruled that the case couldn't go to trial because of multiple legal and procedural irregularities on the part of prosecutors. The case, however, remained open, and there is still another ongoing investigation against them in Romania. Romania's anti-organized crime agency has released a statement that says prosecutors approved the request to change the travel restrictions on the Tates, but didn't say who made that request. The brothers are still required to appear before authorities when summoned.
All right, let's go to BBC correspondent Nick Thorpe, who is in the capital of Romania. Welcome, Nick. Great to be with you. Have Romanian officials said anything about why they lifted the Tate brothers' travel restrictions? Because the charges have not been dropped.
That's right. The charges are still in place. The prosecutors, there was a rather terse statement from the Romanian prosecutors here this morning. So after the Tates had flown out on that private jet, which has now touched down in Florida, in that statement, they said that the lawyers acting for the Tate brothers had asked for two things. One was for all charges against them to be dropped. That was rejected by prosecutors here in Romania. But the second thing they'd asked, which was to have the right to get back their American passports and travel out of the country, that was granted. So in a nutshell, the situation we're in now is that they're still under what the Romanian law calls judicial control, which means that they're expected to collaborate, to participate with that investigation, and eventually, presumably, to stand trial here in Romania on those very serious charges. But the prosecutors have now allowed them to travel back to the United States.
And can you go over the charges that the Tate brothers are actually facing and why they were in Romania in the first place?
Sure. The Tate brothers first came to Romania, I think it was in 2016. They said then publicly that they felt freer here to do what they liked, to pursue their business. And also part of that business was live online sex chats. And there are allegations against them of, for example, of luring young women to Romania and then coercing them into taking part in making basically online pornography, that this amounts to trafficking. And they're also accused, Andrew Tate is accused also of rape and also of money laundering and forming a criminal organization. So basically all these activities which Andrew Tate felt he was freer to do here, the Romanians turned around, the Romanian authorities turned around and said, no, this is a law-abiding country. We don't want you doing these things here. These are criminal activities here as elsewhere. And that's what launched this sort of more than 2 years of legal actions against them. It was very interesting, Andrew Tate, in that brief exchange with reporters when he touched down, after he touched down in Florida, saying that there's no active indictment against him. You also mentioned here that this legal case, the judge basically returning the indictment to the prosecution and asking them to rewrite it. It's interesting here in Romania that the rights of the defendants are very well developed, whereas the rights of victims of crime are less well developed. And Andrew Tate's and Tristan Tate's legal team have been working very carefully on these procedural issues in order to build to this moment now where they've been allowed to leave the country.
And back here in the U.S., where they just arrived, we know the Tate brothers have supported President Trump, and their lawyer now works for the DOJ. Is there any indication that their lawyer had anything to do with the travel restriction being lifted and then coming to Florida?
Clearly, there has been pressure, whatever we call it, from the Trump administration. We know that Richard Grenell, Donald Trump's special envoy, had conversations with the Romanian foreign minister in the corridors of the recent Munich security conference and raised the issue of the Tates. We also know there were private contacts. The Financial Times newspaper listed some of the contacts between the US administration and the Romanian government. The Romanian government then denied that this amounted to a demand from the US government, but as a key US ally here in Europe, a key NATO member, Romania clearly did feel under pressure and seem to have given in to the pressure now, notwithstanding the fact, of course, that the Tates say that they hope to be cleared one day by a Romanian court, and they seem to have given some undertaking, though we haven't seen anything in writing, that they will return to Romania when they're requested to do so by the Romanian judges.
Nick Thorpe from the BBC reporting to us live from Romania. Great to see you, Nick. Thank you so much. Well, just a moment ago, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis spoke about the Tate brothers in a press conference. He said they're, quote, not welcome in his state and doesn't know why they're there. Take a listen.
We have no involvement in that. I read about it through the media. Clearly, the federal government has jurisdiction, whether they want to rebuff his entry into the United States, and I have confidence that whether it's Pam Bondi or Kristi Noem, that they will be looking at that. But the reality is no, Florida is not a place where you're welcome with that type of conduct in the air. And I don't know how it came to this. We were not involved. We were not notified. I found out through the media that this was something that was happening.